What's up? I'm Wyatt. I go by Wyatt's Metal on YouTube. I talk a lot about metal festivals. I've been obsessed with festivals since 2008. My family's from Iceland, so coming here was very awesome for me. And I want to thank Gisli for putting this on and being the whole reason that we're here. So thank you.
Most welcome. I'm really happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks.
And I watch your stuff, so it's good.
Oh yeah, I hope it's all right.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. I like it. Especially when you toured that festival guy in Eastern Europe.
That did happen, the Metal Day story.
Yeah, yes, that was fun. I enjoyed it.
I'm excited to meet you. I've already seen that you're very about the scene and the fans. You're a long-time part of the Icelandic scene, right?
Yeah, which kind of means I'm really old, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've been involved in the scene probably since 1990, which is a lot of years, 35 years. So been kind of sometimes more, sometimes less, but yeah, and lately it's been through festivals and of course now Southern and bands. So yeah, I've been.
Nice.
I think I'm probably one of the older statesmen in the scene these days, I guess.
So you would have helped bring a lot of the metal culture in Iceland and just kind of nourish it.
I hope so. I mean, it's mostly been done just for my enjoyment, but I mean, I hope people got some enjoyment out of it as well, regardless of it's bands that I played in or bands that I've helped get to Iceland. So, but yeah, it's
nice.
It's just the love of metal, to be honest.
Can I ask how you got into metal?
I think I gradually went from listening to kind of. I think we all listened to Duran back in the early 80s.
Metal.
And then kind of gradually got into kind of, hard rock like Bon Jovi, Europe and stuff like that. And I think when I first heard Iron Maiden back in '86, that was kind of, I think that's when something clicked.
Nice.
So that's kind of when I see myself becoming a metalhead. That's kind of, yes, this is it. This makes sense.
Yeah.
And then gradually worked my way through thrash and death metal, and all of a sudden I listened to Label Death just a few years later. So, it's something that I don't seem to be able to grow out of. So,
I seem to have the same problem. So,
I mean, I think it's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
it's fun. So yeah.
Yeah, it's my interest in metal has brought me to places like this and Slovenia and all over Europe, and I don't think being a fan of like pop or hip hop would have necessarily done that for me.
No, I think I would probably suck.
Yeah,
that's my opinion on it. No, but I mean, and I agree. I go to a lot of festivals, and there's a lot of festivals that I've been inspired by that we're stealing ideas from and trying to do here at Southern, and this is just. I mean, by now it's part of who I am, really. I mean, it's just part of my identity, I guess.
Nice.
So it's, I mean, the only thing it doesn't do really is pay the bills. So.
Yeah, they were discussing that in the last show.
Yeah.
So I think they're very correct.
Yeah.
I guess, what was the inspiration to do the festival, not just that, but also here in Stykkishólmur, if I said that correctly at all?
Yeah, pretty much. So I've been involved in a few festivals before. A good friend of mine used to have Icelandic festival. That's probably one of the longest running metal festivals in Iceland. And he got me kind of involved and just helped me out back in 2009 or something. And I was involved in that to some extent until 2016. So I think that's kind of where I got the bug. I was involved in Reykjavík Death Fest, Reykjavík Metal Fest. And I lived in Sweden for a few years. When I got back from Sweden in 21, then I wasn't working with any festival. There wasn't anything going on, and I still, really enjoyed this. And then Iceland actually had their last edition in 22, and in 23, me and my late wife, we were here in Stykkishólmur visiting our daughter who lives here.
Okay.
And some of you guys have probably heard this story. I've said this a few times, but we'll go again. So we used to go to a lot of festivals, and she was talking about she wanted to go to Hellfest or Copenhagen, and it was sold out and everything. And so a bit of a frustration, she says something like, "Why can't we just have a festival here in Stykkishólmur?" And I go like, I mean, theoretically it's possible, there's just a lot of things that have to go right, and a lot of people that have to, you know, play along with it. And so we start talking, or I thought we were just talking. She was taking notes. This is on Saturday, and then on Monday she goes down to the town hall and says, "Hi, I'm going to have a festival here. Who do I talk to?" And they didn't throw her out, and she called us, said, "You know, they're open to talk about this, and are you in?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure." And I figured, no way this is going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's going to say no. Everybody said yes. And all of a sudden, the Bungie Bands, and we're going to have a festival in Stykkishólmur. So, yeah.
So you're basically just trying to humor her, and it just kept going. Like, I guess we're actually doing this now.
Kind of. And eventually, we're like, oh, we're actually doing this. And, you know, and I enjoy doing this, and it's fun. And so it kind of became like a family thing. And we dragged in a whole bunch of really good friends that are stupid enough to do stuff like this with us. And yeah, here we are.
That's awesome. It seems like a lot of the big festivals, or even some bands, their inspiration comes from that idea of like, why don't we just do that?
Yeah, and I guess why not? You know, it's I think this is probably the best reason, because it's fun. I mean, obviously, like you discussed earlier, I mean, and like Ati said here earlier, this is not going to make you a whole lot of money, and it definitely doesn't pay the bills. So but it's a hobby, and it's fun, and it's great to both. I mean, I get to get bands to Iceland that I really want to see here in Iceland.
Yeah.
And also I get to kind of help promote the bands that I really like in Iceland. And I think the scene here in Iceland is probably stronger than it has ever been before. Just the depth and quality of the bands is crazy. And so the way I see it, it's maybe a little bit also just giving back. I mean, I've been involved in this scene for a long time, and it's given me a lot, and maybe we can give a little bit back now. But it's also just to celebrate and uplift and promote Icelandic metal, because I think there's a lot of quality bands here today.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of the intent, and seeing it actually and pulling it off, and seeing it happen, and seeing people being happy and enjoying this it's a great reward. So yeah.
Yes. I was going to say, there's a lot of inspirational talk about not making money here, but also add in that it does give you a lot of life moments that other people don't get.
It is. I think I mean, for me, it's important. Just, you know, it's a life quality. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it doesn't pay the bills, but I mean, what else would I be doing with my time?
Yeah,
I could play golf, but it sucks. You know, so I mean, I get to do this with my friends and hang around with, you know, amazing music, and I mean, it's great. It's fun. It's I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, I would like to be able to pay the bills, so I don't have to do my day job. But you know, here we are. You know,
no, I completely agree. I was talking with Katie earlier, like in metal, I've a bunch of friends of different parts of the world. None of us are particularly rich, but we've had adventures in Slovenia and Iceland and Germany together.
And also because I'm involved in the festival, it's easy to go to other festivals. It's kind of like, hey, I have a festival, you have a festival, can I visit? And everybody seems to be, yeah, come on over. So it's so I've been to places that I never maybe would have gone otherwise, and you know, met amazing people, and we have great people here today that I've seen at other festivals, and some are meeting for the first time, and so it's a great community as well. So it's I feel that it gives me a lot, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of this, even if every now and then I think, why am I doing this? Because this is insane. but it is fun. It is a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And I get to see a whole lot of great bands here, you know, over 3 days, and and I can sleep next week.
All the people attending to that festival, you don't sleep.
No. And I'm running a festival. I mean, if you're lucky, you get 4 hours, you know, a night, and then you just crash on Monday.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how it is.
I was saying to people earlier, like, I never in my life thought I'd be seeing Discharge in Iceland. I'm very excited.
Me neither. I'm stoked about it. I'm so happy about it. I've never seen them. I'm so excited. It came kind of last minute, and everything went kind of just clicked, and I'm so excited about it. The only problem I have with this, and so because I have a few hats, so and I realized it because I mean, Gisli, Southern Gisli is you know, this is great. Beneath Gisli, which is one of the bands I'm playing with, realized that Discharge are playing right after Beneath.
All right.
And I'm going to be completely, wasted after all the energy and everything. So I usually have a difficult time looking at, watching bands after I performed. So I'm like, this is playing right after me, and I'm kind of like, oh man, that sucks. Who planned this? Damn it. The
good news is that we have a pool, so you can just jump in right afterward and it should refresh you.
Yeah, let's see how that goes. No, but I'm really excited to see them, and and to think about, they started in 1977. I mean, there are people in here that were not born in 1977, and they've been playing punk since then. It's crazy, and there are at least 3 original members still in the band. I mean, it's if that's not inspiring, I don't know what is. It's amazing. I'm so stoked about seeing them.
Yeah. What festivals do you think inspired you to put on? What made you design it the way you did? Are there festivals that you did not want to copy?
So we are in Iceland, so outdoors is kind of out the window. So I mean, that takes a whole lot of festivals out of the equation.
Yeah.
Most probably. So it's indoors, and obviously, I mean, having been involved with Iceland, I mean, there's only so many ways you can do this in a small, village technically in Iceland. That so I mean, there will be similarities, obviously, to that people that went to Iceland will be aware of. But that red dust, that's actually, yes, I don't know if you know that phrase. That red dust, it kind of means everything will work itself out.
Oh yeah.
It's very strongly ingrained in us in Iceland. It's like, yeah, that don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. So that's definitely something that kind of is a probably the backbone of metal festivals in Iceland.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. But I think I remember going to Inferno for the first time in 2015. I was working with Iceland back then. Went to Inferno, and I came back hugely inspired. It's like, this is what we need to do. It's amazing. They have these conferences and everything, and there's networking. So I think that's probably still the festival that I'm most inspired by.
Okay.
And I told the Almarston multiple times, basically, I'm stealing everything that you're doing. If you have a good idea, I'm going to steal it. So and he was happy with that. I mean, I think it's And I think, well, and he said, I've stolen, my ideas from somebody else. So it's, but that's probably the one. If I have to pick one festival, then that we are most inspired by, then it's probably Inferno.
Okay.
But obviously we can't do it the same scale. But yeah, since we are an indoor festival like they are, and we want to do the conference like they do. So it's there are similarities.
Yeah, I think that's a good festival to take ideas from. For sure.
And those similarities are not by accident.
Yeah,
we try.
How big do you see the festival getting, or do you want it to get? Do you like it the size it is, or?
I mean, I definitely would like it to be bigger. I mean, I would at some point like to be able to have 2 stages, but I think that's far in the future. We are currently, our capacity is 800 people, so we're not sold out. We were not sold out last year, so I mean that's something that we're still, aspiring to. In this venue, which I think is quite good, the sound there is really good and everything, and I mean the venue holds more people, but the limit 800 is because of escape routes. So. From what I understand, there might be some changes being made to the building in the coming years that might help us increase the capacity, which would be great. But right now, it's not something we need to worry about. But of course, I mean, it would be great to be able to go up to maybe 2,000 people, have 2 stages, and that means we can be more adventurous with the bands we book, especially the international ones, because right now, I mean, we only have 24 slots. So and we want to have some international bands, and there's so many good bands in Iceland, and I mean I hate doing this, but I'm still saying no to my friends in bands that no, I can't fit you in this year, and so I would definitely really like to be able to book more Icelandic bands every year, and also just maybe a different mix of. Because right now we kind of have to make sure that the international bands we book are have, our names. People,
Yeah.
they sell tickets. We might have one. I mean, this year we have Celestial Skulls, which is an amazing band. They're really good, but they're brand new, just released the first album. But they're kind of, I don't know if they're making any money out of this trip. But they want to come, and we're like, great, we'd love to have you because they're amazing. But I would like to do more of those bands, that are fresh and new. But we are a bit limited in what we can, both because of budget and also just the amount of slots. So would I like it to be bigger? Yes. Is that something that's going to happen in the next 2 years? Probably not. And that's okay. I mean, as long as we can manage this, and as long as we don't, go broke completely, then we keep going. Because I mean, it's even if this is it, if we can just find a point where this is sustainable, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not aiming to make it turn into Vakken out here in the freezing cold or anything.
That'd be interesting. Gunnar, I might have to ask you about some pointers. We'll talk.
With this festival, and also just with Iceland in general, what do you think some of the difficulties in getting international acts here are?
Flights. That's basically the expense of flights is the biggest obstacle. I mean, I think this applies to both Europe and the States. I mean, bands that are touring, they end up in a bus or a van or something, and they just drive around. Here, you have to fly to get here.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, that means that you have to pay for all the overweight and everything. So, I mean, there's a lot of cost involved. So that's the tricky part, and especially since, I mean, if we were a 3 million people city here in Reykjavik, then sure, you can have a bigger show and you could get more. Then it's probably worth flying here. But there's not a lot of us here.
Yeah.
So the metal scene is tiny. So it's not very cost efficient to tour in Iceland.
Yeah.
And if you play probably one gig, you might play two if you really, really want to. So I think that's the biggest challenge. And but there are some initiatives in the making where we're going to try to get some grab bands that are flying between Europe and America.
Yeah.
And try to get them on stopovers. So something. We are also lacking venues. We don't have a lot of venues.
That's true.
There's a lot of the better mid-size and smaller venues have been closing in the last few years in Reykjavik, which is of course a concern.
Mm-hmm.
So there are challenges, but I mean the cost of getting bands here is probably the biggest one. And then again, I mean you might get a medium-sized band that might be touring and playing for 1,000 people every night might get 250, 300 people here. That's the maximum. So,
and from a band perspective, it's like maybe they do want to go to Iceland and perform, but they might take a huge cut and
exactly. And to be honest, I mean the bands that we are getting, I mean we're not paying them a lot of money because we are a tiny festival and we don't have a lot of budget. So the bands that play here, they are willing to come here on a because they want to play in Iceland, and it's not like they're coming for free. Yeah, and we wouldn't expect them to, but I mean. They are willing to make reasonable deals because to them, I mean, they don't play Iceland every year. Yeah. So it's a bit of an experience.
That's awesome. Shout out to all those bands.
I mean, and we are grateful for it. I mean, otherwise this would be even more difficult. Yeah. So we really appreciate our international friends that are, visiting and playing for us. That's really good.
Awesome. Yeah. And I like that you mix. I would say majority Icelandic bands, but then it has like Vader, Carcass, and like pretty heavy hitters in there. For me, I was going through the lineup, and I know the international acts. I knew some of the Icelandic ones, but not all of them. But when I was checking out, every band was quality, and I was very impressed with it.
Yeah, so it's two things. I mean, first of all, there's a lot of quality in the scene in Iceland these days. There's a lot of good bands, and but we also make sure that. The bands that we put on. I mean, the bands that are the first bands on the day. These are bands that actually have done something. They're touring. They're releasing. So I mean, there are proper bands. Yeah. So it's as much as we would like to be able to help the grassroots more. We've kind of feel that there are more metal festivals here in Iceland, and some of those are kind of catering more to those bands. So we felt that we wanna do something slightly different, and we wanna look at maybe more. I don't want to say established bands, but more developed bands maybe. I don't know if that's the right word for it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So and also because I mean the ticket isn't cheap, so we want to make sure that if you come to Southern, you get a great band from number one. You know?
Yeah.
And but again, it's surprisingly easy because there are a lot of good bands.
Yeah, I noticed. I was very impressed. I think I will talk more of that on a different panel, but the Icelandic scene I think does have a lot to offer, and I feel like internationally, Solstice is really well known. Skullmold is pretty well known, but like there's plenty of others. Sororicide, your band. Let's talk a little bit about your performing your final show.
Yes, we are. It's going to be the last one, unless somebody pays us monthly crew money. Then we'll do whatever you want.
If Slayer's managers are listening.
Yeah. but I mean, we're talking multi crew money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
No. This is going to be a last show, and I mean it's a bit of a closure, I guess. I don't think a lot of people outside of Iceland really care that much. Probably a few, but not a lot. But in Iceland, I think we kind of became a little bit of a cult band.
Okay.
We released our album in '91, which has become a bit of a collector's item. Probably more because it's hard to get than because it's so good. But it's but yeah, we've done shows a few times over the last decades. But it's 15 years since we last played, and we figured it would be. I mean, because yesterday was actually to the day 35 years since our first show ever.
Wow.
That was 4th of June 1990. So this kind of felt fitting that it's 35 years ago, and we haven't been active for a long time, and just to kind of do one last hurrah and call it quits and do it properly.
Yeah, it's a good way to go out, I think.
Yeah, so it's kind of strange to think that I'll be playing in a few hours.
Like you said, you're running around with so many hats.
Yeah, I kind of have my Southern hat on now, and then it doesn't make any sense that I'm going to be playing. So it's but I need to switch hats in a bit. And
yeah.
Oh, and I'm actually playing at 6 o'clock as well with Bastard. So it's it's one of those days.
Busy man.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the work you're putting in.
Thank you. It is fun. So I mean, that's a good thing, though. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if this wasn't fun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like you said, it'll be fun.
It's gonna be fun. I'll sleep on Monday.
Should we take audience questions? Not sure how much time we have left for. I know bands are starting, and I don't want to cut anyone's time off.
You have about like about 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
You can keep ripping or do some audience questions.
I mean, if anyone has any questions, we could do that. Or yes, sir.
I've been bugging this man to re-release officially the only Sororicide album, and it didn't say never. Players without. Maybe the time was right. Finally,
so, yeah, that's a slightly complicated situation.
It's easy. We can talk a little bit later.
Yeah, but as far as I understand, the rights have been sold out of the country. So it's
after 35 years, we still don't have rights to label.
I don't know. Maybe we need to look into it.
Can you not do like Sororicide edition, like Taylor did, Taylor Swift did, Taylor's edition?
Oh my God.
You can do Sororicide edition.
Then we need to learn all the songs. We didn't learn all the songs. We learned some of the songs. But I mean, and that's the funny part about. I mean, we did this. We've been rehearsing now for a few months because when we got together now in I think it was January, something. Mm-hmm. We really sucked, like big time. It was embarrassing. And but some of the stuff is kind of like muscle memory. It's just you start to play and what comes next? I don't know. And oh yeah, my hand knows. So great. And then there were some songs. I mean, Thráinn, when he was playing with us now, he played the song of the album, and I'm like, who was that? And he's like, that's you guys. Oh shit. So from kind of being somehow ingrained in your mind that it just comes automatically to something that I've never heard this before in my life. So it's a process. It's weird. But it's been 15 years and yeah, and we're not getting any younger. So, but it's I don't know if I don't know if it would sound good if we would re-record the whole album. I don't know. I think it would be weird.
Yeah, but you did put online the song.
We did.
Today, I believe, yeah.
Yes, we did. We released a new song yesterday.
Oh,
What about this?
Yeah, I
nice.
forgot about that. I'm kind of busy these days, so I mean that's I forget most of the things that I need to read them. Yeah, we did, and we maybe I should talk about that. So back in '91, I think we wrote a song called "Open Abyss," and we went into a studio and recorded it because we were supposed to perform. And when I say perform on a local TV show, and we did. And at some point, and we never released this song, so this was only aired once in the local TV here, and we used to play it live back then, but the recordings got lost, and the sound wasn't amazing. So we decided. And this I think Unnar our drummer needs to take most credit for this because he was the driving force in this project, just getting this done and making this happen, which was amazing. But we took the song and we relearned it to begin with. We made some minor adjustments and re-recorded it. So it's the 2025 edition of our song that was written in 1991.
Nice.
And it was written with our former band member Frode Finnsson, who passed away in 93, 94. I'm bad with years. And he would have turned 50 now on the 12th of June.
Oh.
So releasing it yesterday on the 35th anniversary of our first show, it felt fitting, and it's kind of a bit of a tribute. And parts of the song were recorded on his old guitar as well.
Nice.
So it's kind of a little sentimental for us. So that metal guys can be soft too.
Yeah.
So it's. But yeah, I think we tried to keep it to kind of a bit raw sounding. Sororicide is not a band that fits with click tracks or anything like that. So it's I think it's a bit loose and raw, which is what we wanted. And I think we are pretty happy with it. So
Nice. I'm excited to check it out.
yeah, it's available on all streaming platforms right now. I think.
Sounds like you need a publicist.
Yeah, we do. For a band that is about to play its last show ever. So we need a publicist until 1 o'clock this evening. Thank you.
Should be affordable for that amount of time.
Probably. Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? So yeah, but we're really happy with it, and I think it's a fitting kind of farewell gift to us and our 4 fans, and yeah.
Shout out to the 4 of you coming out for the last
thanks
show.
guys for coming. Yeah.
What was it recorded?
When?
Yeah.
Last month, I think. Last 2 months.
Gisli, you one question.
Okay.
I'm Icelandic, living abroad.
Yes.
I always love coming to Iceland.
We love having you.
When you're having festivals.
Yes.
Are we ever able to sell out Iceland in a way that people do not bother to come to Iceland anymore because it's sold out?
I mean,
It's a question to other people around in this area.
I don't know. I mean, it's. I think as long as we can offer people. I mean, as long as we continue to produce quality music, and I mean, from a music perspective, I mean, from a metal perspective, I think we don't have to worry, because I mean, from where I'm sitting, the scene seems to be getting better and better and broader and broader. I mean, we're getting I mean, for a long time we've been kind of dominated by excellent black metal, and death metal has been here. We've been more extreme usually. So I mean, that's kind of how Icelandic metal has been more of through the years. I mean, we have Solstafir, Skálmöld, Dimma, and Vintage Caravan, Brain Police, but it seems that we are getting more diverse metal bands. We seem to be getting. I mean, we have Power Paladin now. I mean. 10 years ago, anybody who said, "Oh, let's have a power metal band in Iceland," would have been laughed at. Because they're amazing. I mean, we're getting more folk metal bands. I mean, there's all kinds of, we're getting more, metalcore or deathcore. I mean, that's just the hardcore scene is thriving. So as long as we keep producing good bands and good music, I don't think we have to worry. I mean, if people come here to Southern or not, I don't know. But I mean, I think people will continue to listen to Icelandic music as long as we keep doing well. And right now, I think we're doing great. And it's just a question of making sure. And I want to. What we want to do is try to help in letting people know and telling people that hey, there's really good stuff going on here.
Yeah, I think that's just mainly the word of mouth because, like you said, it's the quality of the music is here, and then like the history and the culture is something that metalheads are already attracted to.
Absolutely, and we want to because Southern is an Icelandic metal festival. We want to make sure always to have a majority of the bands Icelandic. I mean, we're gonna try to get good international bands, and just because we like it, and hopefully our guests like it as well. But the majority of the bands are going to be Icelandic.
Yeah,
that's kind of the aim.
Yeah,
because that's the bands we're celebrating.
That's a great way to do it too.
So I guess I'm celebrating 3 of my own bands this year.
It's all about him for the weekend.
Yeah. Huh.
You don't have any last year. So.
No, that's true. That's true. And maybe I won't have any left, next year, because we have a rule that no bands play 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
That's a small follow-up question.
Yes.
You think people that are coming to the Icelandic festival, do they come because of the foreign bands, or do you think they are coming to Icelandic festivals, metal festivals, to learn about the Icelandic bands? And why should we get a lot of foreign bands, and if people are coming to Iceland to look at the Icelandic bands?
So I think it's twofold. I mean, I think you are coming here since you live in Norway.
Yes, I'm here for you.
Yeah. Well, apart from that, if we look past the obvious. So I think our international guests are probably coming here more for the Icelandic bands, because I mean there are bands that might not tour as much, and you might not get the chance to see abroad. So I mean you're probably going to find something new. For you international guests, I mean, it's probably not as exciting to go and see Carcass or Vader, because I mean, all those are great bands, but they tour your countries and cities. So I mean, these are probably bands you've seen before. If you're interested in seeing those bands, that is. But then that's for the Icelandic audience.
Yeah.
And the Icelandic audience might not be as excited for the Icelandic bands because they have probably seen them before and can see them, more often.
Or they're in most of the bands.
Or they are in most of the bands. That's a good point. I mean, the black metal scene in Iceland is like 30 bands and only 10 guys. So it's a bit of I mean, we are catering to 2 different sets of audiences, and the trick is to try to build a lineup that kind of makes sense for both, to some extent at least. So what we do is we try to build a lineup that we like and would make sense to us, and hopefully other people will like it too. It's kind of maybe it's a cliche, but Southern is a metal festival done by metalheads for metalheads.
Yeah.
It's
the best way to do it.
If we think it's cool, then maybe you guys think it's cool. That's the only criteria we can use, really.
Yeah. For me, someone coming from America, I think it's best to focus on the Icelandic bands to have more international people and spread those audiences.
Right.
But like I said earlier, getting to see Discharge in Iceland, Vader in Iceland is kind of like a holy shit thing too. Yeah. So I'd see the benefit of having couple international acts, especially if you guys don't get to see them often, and
Right.
then catering a lot of the lineup to more of the Icelandic scene. Like just checking out the lineup for me, I discovered a whole bunch of bands that I like now.
Right. So I mean that's the hope as well. I mean we want people to discover the Icelandic bands. I mean because we are proud of those bands, regardless of if we are in them or not. No, but I mean, but still, it sounds silly. I mean, last year we had Ultimas with David Vincent, and just the thought, David Vincent in Sticky Solver?
Yeah.
What? It just sounds silly. But then again, we had Triptychon at Eistnaflug in 2009 or whatever, and Don G Warrior in Neskustad makes no sense whatsoever either. It's just, what?
Yeah.
But that was really cool. Yes?
It's also coming from the Icelandic perspective. Seeing Karkas download with 40,000 people standing 250 meters away, and then seeing them here tonight when they're playing
Tomorrow,
with
yes.
800 people in a small venue, like when After Gates played in Eistnaflug.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's completely different
Yeah.
perspective, and just everything much better here than a huge stadium.
Everything is much better here.
Yeah.
Of course.
I agree.
Of course. That's why we want to grow and get more people. No, hang on.
No.
Hang on. Yeah.
We'll get the big sponsors.
I guess you have one advance when you have those bands playing in Iceland
Yeah.
with such a small audiences that the audience might feel that the bands that are on the stage they really want to play.
Yeah, and I think,
It doesn't matter if you're 800 people. I mean, they come to Iceland to play for the people.
Yeah.
no, exactly, and that's a good point, and that is true because all of these bands would have been able to play bigger festivals. I mean, there's a bunch of festivals happening in Europe this weekend, and I can guarantee you all of those festivals pay better than we do. No question. These bands could have played other festivals for more money, but they are here.
There's
So
no reason they're playing in Iceland.
yeah, I mean
They have a good shark.
Yeah.
we have good shark. So yeah, if anybody wants shark, this is Magnus. You talk to him.
It's terrific. Definitely try it.
Have you tried it?
I got tricked into it one time
All
from
right,
a place
good.
called Cafe Loki, which I thought was fitting. Yeah, it was awful.
It is. But still, it's something that you have to try at least once. Yes, I know it's awful, but you have to try it.
Did you have it with
Just like we
family?
say in Iceland, you haven't been to Iceland if you haven't eaten rotten shark.
Exactly.
Well, then I guess I have been to Iceland.
All right.
Not yet, so
Katie,
that's the target,
We have a
everybody.
mission. We have a mission this weekend, Katie.
I guess so.
We need to fix that. We need to fix that.
Tell her it's something else. She's like, hey, try this little puffin sample.
Oh yeah. You're gonna puff in Iceland as well.
Oh, they're so cute. I don't want to puff
Not the ones that you're eating. They're not cute anymore. Nope. But yeah, it's no, but it's a good point. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the bands like coming here because this is different, and I mean they haven't. Most of the time they haven't played it. I mean, Vader actually played it before. They want to come back, so that's a good sign.
That's a very good sign.
But we also, I mean, even if we don't pay any of the bands very well, we try to make sure they're comfortable, and we try to make sure we treat them well, and they have a good time. And one of the kind of manifestos, I don't know if that's a word, ethos maybe, I don't know. I'm liking a word here. I'm a stupid foreigner when it comes to English. But one of the things that we aim to do is to make sure that everybody goes home smiling. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's the guests or the bands or the staff. We want this to be a fun experience for everybody.
Yeah.
That's the aim.
And that goes a long way, too, because like you said, those bands could get paid more at other festivals. They might get treated shittier at some of those festivals.
It might be. But I mean, we will at least do what we can and try to make it a good experience. So, I mean, that's the... And then if we fuck up, we try to do better next year. That's the plan.
I have one question.
Yep.
Because of the name of the festival.
Yes.
It's good.
Well, it's a mountain here close by. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you?
I know the mountain south Hazelham. I know the mountain horse.
Yes.
And then there's a mountain that's called Sildatunga.
Yes, that's all part of the same story. Yes.
But I was trying to remember today what was the fourth mountain of
Tröllkona.
Huh?
Tröllkona. So
What he said.
So yeah. So
Can you give us the meaning of the name of the festival?
yes. So there's a story, like a fable, about this. How do you say Tröllkona in English?
Old woman.
Troll woman. Thank you. Yes, that was easy.
Way too easy.
Yeah. So she's traveling, trying to get home before sunrise, because as everybody knows, if trolls get in the sun, well, if Icelandic trolls get in the sun, they turn into stone.
I knew that.
It's common knowledge. So she's trying to get home. She's racing against time to beat the sunrise, and she's on a horse, and she has, and to speed up, she drops. She has a stack of hay, so it drops, and that's becomes Southern. That's a mountain.
Haystack.
That's a haystack, yeah. And then she drops the barrel that she has. That's tunnan, and the barrel, yeah. And then at some point, the horse gives up, so she drops the horse, and that's Hestur, the horse.
Okay.
And eventually, and these are mountains on the way, and eventually she doesn't make it home. So sun comes up, and there's a like a troll-shaped mountain something, I guess, and that's supposed to be the troll woman, the troll lady. So that's where the name comes from. So I always get them mixed up, but you can see the mountain Southern from Stykkishólmur. So obviously it's a play on words.
I didn't know that it was a mountain until right now.
No, most people didn't. But we figured that this was a fun way to kind of link it to the location.
Yeah.
While also being able to, bring Satan into the mix.
I thought it was funny when I turned the corner, just a big sign that says Satan on the wall.
Yes. But it doesn't say Satan, it says something.
It's true.
What?
It's fucking haystack.
Yes, the haystack. What's the problem?
Why are they freaking out?
So, but I mean, we do enjoy the fact that all our international friends they talk about the Satan Festival, and I've been referred to as on festivals when I'm introduced to people as, oh yeah, you're the Satan guy.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I'm the Satan
yeah,
guy.
yeah, sure, I can be that guy.
So help teach a dumb American how to pronounce it. It's
Southern.
Southern.
There you go.
There. All right.
Haystack.
It's a haystack festival.
Yeah, it's like a stack. So a hay Southern would be a haystack. So Southern is like a stack of something. Usually
Okay.
hay. But yeah.
You should all know.
So you're the haystack guy, is what it should be.
Yeah. Not as man. But I mean, our daughter Lilia, she came up with this, and this came up in the first production meeting we had, and we had some working name, and I was like, okay, so if nobody has a better idea, this is the name of the festival. And she goes, oh, I have a better name. I was like, okay, Southern, and I'm thinking like, hey, Southern. It's like, what? There's nothing metal about this. What do you mean? And what comes up if you Google this? I mean, maybe it's a company called this or something. So I pick up my phone and type it in, and as soon as I type it in, it's like, this is genius. This is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yes. But it didn't click until I typed it in. And
Yeah.
I could actually see, oh, it's Satan. Oh, yeah, that's good.
At
So,
first,
yeah.
you're like, why would we do that? And you're like,
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that was, and we've gotten good feedback on the name.
yeah.
Yeah.
It helps stand out too.
It does. It kind of, yeah. With the Satan Festival, apparently.
Yeah. I guess if there's any more questions, should we wrap it up now? All right. Well, thank you so much for having me here and putting this all on.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Playing in half the bands that are performing.
Yeah, don't remind me.
I have just one note. In 50 minutes, my current Wacken Metal Battle winners are playing.
Yes.
Katowice.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes, don't miss
Yeah,
Katowice.
check that out. That's a good way to wrap it up.
Amazing. They are great.
First band, 15 minutes. Everybody go be metal.
Go, go, go. And drink beer,
Yeah.
please.
This year.
My band actually did the Vakken battle in California.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we didn't make it far, but
I'll just California.
yeah,
Yeah, California sucks. Yes, you guys have sun and crap.
it's sun all the time, complete opposite. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great weekend. I'll obviously be here the whole time hanging out.